Hey everyone, Patty here, full-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark and Mercari, better known as Girl Hustle on YouTube. Today I'm going to share with you some of the mugs that I have listed on my eBay store. I'm going to tell you why I picked them up, and I'm also going to share with you right away the ones that you really want to keep an eye out for, because these go for hundreds of dollars, and it's just crazy what some of these things sell for. So get a pencil and paper, because I'm going to give you a list of a few of the top ones that you want to look for. I of course didn't find any of these top selling ones yet, but I am going to be looking for them. One of the brands you want to look for when you're out, and you can find the brands on the bottoms of the cups, is Atlas, and this is a vintage brand. It's the milk glass style, which is the white glass. And the outside could be a different color, but Atlas, that's a very, very good selling brand. The next one is Fire King. I always pick them up when I see them. I don't care what they look like. I pick them up because I know there's a huge market for them. So one of the glasses that I sold, I don't know if it sold for $39.99 or $41. I tried looking it up on eBay, and the list, it only goes back 3 months ago, and I sold it longer than that. So I went into my invoices, and when I went into my invoices and I found what I think was this glass that I sold, I wasn't able to, when I clicked on it, it didn't have the auction available. So I wasn't able to give you a picture of this glass. But however, I do have a style of the glass, and it's actually one of these Fire King, and these are found very easily. It was a Fire King. On the bottom, it had, now it was embossed, you couldn't see it, but it had the number 9 really, really small. But the reason I put the item up to, because I think I asked $39.99 for it. I didn't do it as an auction, I did it as a fixed price listing. The reason that I put it up that high was the color. The color was like a teal blue, and I knew it would sell. I wasn't sure if it would sell for that high of a price. So I marked it up, and I would let the market tell me, like, for, you know, later down the road, if it didn't sell, I would know then to mark it up, to mark the item down if it wasn't selling after a while. But it sold very quickly. I was very happy with it. I did get another, and I only paid probably 50 cents to $1 for it, because I got it in a big lot at a yard sale. But I did get another one in a thrift store that was sort of like that. It was the same color, but it wasn't the Fire King brand. But it sold for, that one sold for $10. So, but this one, I knew the brand would be a good seller. But what I did was, so this person paid this higher price for this item. I looked at if they were a reseller, and they were, and they sold mugs. They sold them in sets. So she probably sold it in a set of, you know, maybe the other colors that would go to complete a set or something. And if you can get these in a couple different colors, sell them in a set, because you could get hundreds of dollars this way. I was very happy with it. But Fire King, Anchor Hawken Fire King, pick them up, especially if you could get them for a quarter, 50 cents, or $1. Also in the Fire King, you might want to look for the ones like Snoopy. They might be the older looking ones, but they might have Snoopy on it. A recent sell, if you look in the sold listings, sold for $979, a Snoopy one. A jadeite cup. They're like the green colored ones. There was a cup that sold for over $750. So pay attention to the Fire King Anchor Hawken mugs and glasses. I pick them up even if, like, I don't research mugs at all. I don't do any research. When I'm out in a thrift store, I do no researching of mugs. I just pick them up because they're so cheap, and I know they'll eventually sell, even if it's only for $7.99, $5.99, $9.99. Also, and I didn't know this, with the Fire King ones, and I just noticed this last night, I learned this. There's people that look for the specific handle types. There's the C handle, and then there's the D handle, which is kind of like shaped in a, with the D. So look for these and list them. And if you do find one, make sure that you put that in your title. Because sometimes if somebody's in a hurry and they're a collector, it doesn't mean they're searching for their items in a particular way. So if you have that in your title, you're more than likely, they're more than likely to see your listing. Also, I noticed I was looking in the glasses too, like the thick glasses. I'm going to start doing a lot of research in that too, because they sell. I know a lot of us don't like getting into the glassware, but if you're shipping only a couple glasses at a time, just get some bubble wrap. I've shipped a lot of glass over the years, and I've never had a problem. I haven't had anything break that I remember anyway. So I'm going to be doing some more breakables. All right, here's one that's selling, and it's kind of like it's not really vintage. I don't think it is anyway. Please don't quote me on that, but Ember, EMBER, that's the Ember brand, but they're the temperature controlled mugs. And they are, one of them I seen go for over $200. The other ones are between like $60, $80, $100. So if you see a mug, especially if it's the brand Ember or any temperature controlled teacup, coffee cup, pick it up. The Rae Dunn, specifically in the Halloween. Right now it's Halloween, and they're selling for some pretty, $89, $90 for one mug. So Halloween theme in the Rae Dunn brand. My mug that actually I showed at the beginning of the video, that was actually a Rae Dunn. I'm not really a big fan of the items, but I loved that cup. So that I got for my personal use, but not really worth much. I think $9.99, $6.99. If it would have been worth much, I would have sold it. Another brand, I never heard of this one, but I wanted to let you know because I researched it, and it is a brand that's selling between $89 and up, and it's Mary Mecco. MERIMEKKO. You want to look for that brand. Starbucks. I pick up the Starbucks ones. Starbucks ones sell. And the last one I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna start showing you some of the ones that I got. Victoria's Secret mugs. I seen some go for some pretty good money. I've never seen one. I never even knew they had Victoria's Secret mugs, but apparently they do, and kind of rare. So if you see one when you're out, get it. All right, so hopefully I gave you some tips there. I know I kind of ramble on, but I'm going to show you some of the ones that I pick up. Some of them, I think, over the last week. I sold a Harley Davidson one, and I sold a Chesapeake Bay one. And I had the Chesapeake Bay one listed for a while, but it finally sold. I knew it would sell. I should have kept the price up on it. I knew it would eventually sell, but I had it a while, and I thought it was cool. But I'm going to show you some of the ones that I picked up, and hopefully they'll sell for me. I'm going to tell you why I picked them up, because I know they'll sell eventually. Just a Harley Davidson one, and this is why I picked it up. Harley Davidson sells. Now the last one I sold, that one was like a three-dimensional kind of one. You felt the outside of it. So that one sold, and I should have left the price marked up, but I marked them down. I think I sold that for $10.99, and I had it marked up, I think, to $24. Then I came down a little bit. Some things like mugs are like a long tail item. You have to wait for the right buyer for them because there's so many of them. Father's Day one go for pretty good money last night. So just look at the listings, but it was just a generic looking Father's Day mug, and it sold for, I think it was over $100. Also, the smiley face ones. Now this is a vintage one, but the reason I got it, it's nothing special, to be honest with you. Nothing special, but it is the season, and this is why this one. I always pick up the state ones. Some people collect the state cups. You know, they like to collect them all, so I picked that one up. Disney, I forgot to tell you, Disney's a good seller too. I picked them up. This is the 7 dwarfs. The 7 dwarfs. I pick these up all the time. I usually list these for over 20 bucks. This is just a Postmaster one. The reason I picked it up, because for that mailman, you know. Postmasters are first class mails. Good brand. I didn't write it down, and I didn't know until I did some research on it. It's Ogilvy, and this is dated on the bottom 1982, but there are collectors that collect this brand, and they do sell fairly well. So I'm hoping eventually the right collector will come along and buy this, but this is pretty. I like this. Another Disney mug. There's a lot of Disney, so you might be sitting a while for the right buyer. Here's this one. These sell very good at Christmas time. Even throughout the year they do, but this is one of the old Santa mugs. And this is very light. Like, I wouldn't drink out of that. It's kind of like that, I forget what it's called, that material inside. This is more of a decoration piece. But this is dated 1958. So a lot of these sell, but they have to be the old ones because there's so many of them, but they sell. I picked this one up. I just thought it was neat looking. Now, I'm sorry about the glare. I thought it was, you know, I just thought this was pretty for people that live by the sea or and stuff like that. This is just a different kind. Also, when you're doing your listings, I will write if it's milk glass, like this is a milk glass one. I will write in the listing if it's milk glass. I'll write any markings that are on it. I'll write how many ounces. Sometimes I just put the ounces in the description, but I'm not exactly sure what type of cup this is. So I didn't know, and I know there's a certain name. If I would know the name of this title, but I don't. But like tumbler, you could put, this isn't a tumbler, but you could put a tumbler in there for different glasses. Or but when I'm doing cups and mug, I'll put cup, glass, ceramic, mug, eyes on their listing. Another Disney does very well. I sold one, but like I sold the Disney one. I forget what one it was. I think it had, it was probably Cinderella. It was a female character on it. I don't remember who it was, but I sold it a couple months ago. And again, I can't get in my listings to show it to you, or I'd show you the picture. This one's another Christmas mug. Now this is a 3D Disney, so I would put this as 3D. And a lot of these will look cute with little plants in them. You know, like it's not, they're not just, they don't have to be used to be drink. This one's cool too. It has his tail in the cup. This is one of the things that when I'm in a thrift store, I go directly to, that I go to look. I look at the mugs, There's certain things that I always, without a doubt, look at when I'm in a thrift store. Mugs is one of them. Now this one is a Godiva chocolate. I got it because of the name. Another Disney one. Now here's a Starbucks one. I think this is cute. I like this mug. I have 3 cabinets downstairs filled with mugs. I have to go through them again that I know could sell, but this is a Starbucks one. And Starbucks is very good. I always pick them up. I don't care if it's plastic, glass. I always pick up Starbucks. I did sell, and again, this is an older one, but it was a Valentine's. I don't know if it was Valentine's, but I had little hearts on it. It was cute, but it was a plastic one. And I think I sold it for, I don't know if it was $16.99 or $12.99. I think it was 16, but I'm not sure. This one I got, just different. This one for the golfers, you know. People search for these kind of things that you can't find no more. Now this one, oh no, this is another state one. You see, this has the gold trim on it. Also, another thing that I will put in my listing, I think this is the right terminology for it, but did you ever see like glass that's like this ceramic kind of glass and it has that crazing, which looks like it's cracked, but it's really not. But it has that crazing underneath of it. I will make note of that, and I'll make sure that I do put that in my description that it has crazing with it. This one says Japan, so I'll make note of that because that could sell the item too. I have a couple of these. I have different, I think I have Mr. Good Bar, but it's the Crackle chocolate bar Hershey's. I think this is that Annie, but this is an old one. It's in milk glass. Dunkin' Donuts. This is glass. Here's another state one. German one. It has something on the bottom. I can't read it because it's Backlery or something. I have it in my listing, but poem on it or some kind of a song. It's just different. It's this different stuff that I look for that people will be interested in. This is cute. This is another milk glass one. The pause that refreshes. This is a glass bake. Hard to see. This one's interesting. This one, I just listed it. Now this was, I had no markings on it at all, like nothing. There's no markings or anything on this. To me, and she said she's really interested in the mug, and she says to me, does it still play music? I said, oh, I don't know if it did. And she showed me that she had a set that, or something. I don't remember the whole thing about it, but she said, yeah, when you put your coffee or your tea in it and it gets hot. I never even noticed it until until this lady messaged me. The bottom, you know how there's nothing on it. It's plastic. It's like, this is ceramic, but this is plastic. So, but I thought that was interesting. So just take a look. Yeah. She said, oh, I wished it played. I said, I don't know. I said, it doesn't play for me. Maybe I have to try it again. still works. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean, does it still work? Now, this is just cute, just a little bird, you know, for a grandpa, or a little child, I imagine, can get this for their, you know, their grandmom or granddad. It's just cute. Best wishes, Grandpa. I thought it was cute. That's why I got it. Another one. This is another state mug, Utah. Sorry for the glare. I know the glare is making everything suck. And then this has a little, just some interesting facts about Utah. This one, I had a few watchers on it. I know it's vintage. And you see the way that the handle is. So just take note of the handles, because some people look for different styles of handles. I would have never even thought about in the Fire Kings of looking for the specific C and D handles. So be aware, look out for this kind of stuff when you're out. Don't be, and if you don't have to hurry through the thrift store, don't, because I'm sure we are leaving so much money on the table. I love this cup. I hope it, I'm probably going to end up keeping it. Just like it. It's Mr. Donuts. It used to be Dunkin's now, but this is a vintage Mr. Donuts, and you see the handle is a donut. I love it. I think it's cute. I love donuts even more. So hopefully I gave you some ideas of what to look at. Don't pass by the mugs. Check them out. They're cheap. They're quick bread and butter items. And like I said, that one cup sold for $40 for me. So if you find something, and it doesn't have to be mugs, but if you find anything that you don't really know too much about it, or there's not enough information when you're doing your research, mark the item up and let the market tell you. Like, you might get somebody asking you a question or saying, you know, that's not worth that much, or or if it buys right away, if it sells right away, you know, oh, you marked it too low. Always take a risk doing this stuff, but it's fun. It's so much fun. I love doing it. If you have any questions, any comments, let me know your favorite mug that you sold, or let me know. Please like and subscribe, and please turn on those bell notifications so you can be notified every time I go.